If you look at the car from here, it looks like it only needs a little bit of paint and it's ready to go. But if you look closely, there are imperfections that we need to sort out. If you've been keeping up with the videos, you know that my car's not running, there's no spark. However, I'm gonna leave that problem for now. So today's focus is centering the steering wheel.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through.
So when I first bought the car, it didn't have power steering and I couldn't cope with that. So within a week, I bought a powered steering rack and changed it. So when I did change my steering rack to powered steering, I didn't actually check it was centered. Instead, I just bolted it on together. And now my alignment is way off, as you can see. So if you don't really get what I'm saying, this might be an easier way to explain it to you guys. So I'm going to turn my steering wheel full lock to the left and it takes 1 turn and a quarter. Whereas when I turn my steering wheel full lock to the right, it takes 1 turn and a half. So I know the difference is not super huge for me to move the steering rack. However, when I did change the power steering, I know I didn't center it. So it's kind of like a peace of mind for me to make it center, and then I'll sort out the tie rod afterwards. So even though driving a slam car is all fun and games, it actually gets really annoying when you have to jack the car up. So as you can see, I've had to put one jack on the frame rail to be able to make enough clearance to put the other jack under the subframe to be able to lift the whole car up. And don't forget your jack stands or to do your wiggle test.
Put it on, baby, you do not.
So now we can take the wheels off.
Eating that kitty, she stuck to my rib. How can I trust him? He fuck with the pigs. Bro got a Glock and a couple of C's. He think about splitting a couple of wigs. Shot in my DNA, all real, nigga. Sweat.
So firstly, I grabbed a 17mm and I loosened the locking nut, and then I grabbed the 12mm and I started to remove the tie rod. So once I got the tie rod off, I removed the clip, the zip tie, and then the boot off the tie rod. Then I repeated the same process onto the other side. Alright, now we've got Robert down there doing the measuring. I do not trust myself to do measuring, I'm not that accurate. So I am instead doing the steering wheel and basically responding to whatever he says, left, right, straight. And yeah.
It's roughly 36 centimeters, and this side we're at 35 and a half. All right, so turn to the left a bit. That's too much, go back. All right, 36 on this side, and then we're gonna be shorter on this side now. Turn back a little bit. Okay, that looks like 36 to me. Looks a bit like 36 to me. All right, so we're centered now. The steering rack was actually a little bit more centered than I thought.
Yeah.
It wasn't out by a lot, but as we can see, it still is a little bit. So we'll just take the steering wheel off and turn it. I think because the Boss kit has those little notches,
yeah,
we'll be able to turn it by a little bit. To be honest, like I don't think it was enough for us to have the need to center the steering rack.
But it's kind of cool to like.
But again, it's just a peace of mind, isn't it?
Yeah,
like you said.
Let's take off the steering wheel and try changing it to make it more center. So I took the steering wheel off so I could get to the locking nut of the hub. Then I put it back on so I could hold it still whilst Robert cracked it with a breaker bar. Then I backed it off all the way and tried to remove the steering wheel, but I couldn't, so I got Robert to get in there to take it off and put it back on the correct way. We then tightened it all back up and put it back together. Alright, so even though it only looked like it was a tiny bit out of alignment, as you can see, this is where it used to be, and this is where it's gone now.
Those tiny changes up front make a huge difference up here.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I said, it was good that we done it. It's peace of mind, isn't it?
So now we're going to do the opposite of what we just done and put everything back together. Okay, so the car is more or less done now. I know the alignment's not perfect, but like I said earlier, I am going to be going to the shop to get it done perfectly, and at least I know for a peace of mind that the steering rack is more or less center. But before I carry on, I've got to clean up this mess. Alright, the garage is looking a lot better now, so I can sit down and fill you guys in to what's been happening. So as you guys can see, it's getting really dark right now. It is only 4 PM in the UK, but British winter weather is just like this, and it's absolutely freezing cold as well. Next video, I'm going to be tightening up suspension in the rear. I've got to sort out the sway bar, sort out the brakes as well, and a few bits and bobs. I also have to prepare the panels a bit more because my paint has officially arrived to paint my car. I'm in talks with Matt currently still, and if you guys don't know, Matt is the guy I'm going to be going to paint my car, his unit and his stuff. And I'm sorting out with him the exact date to when he's going to be trailing my car down there. So make sure you guys subscribe, stick around, we've got a lot of good content coming, and I'll see you guys in the next video.